Oh God.
I walked my first route this last week too.
How did it go? Did you see Mateo? Did you get a cell?
Mateo. I did get a cell as well.
It's all working, folks.
I got a gift from Japan.
Wow. You got the whole experience, man.
Yeah.
It worked for you. Good for you.
I drove it. It was just a nice long 1,000 meters of like nobody. The person who made that route did not make that on foot. I can tell you right now.
You're tuned into the GOCast podcast, your one-stop shop for updates, news, tips, and community in the world of Pokemon Go. Thank you for listening.
Is this a dream, or is there a dazzling new event on the horizon?
Take a Chansey on February's Community Day.
Go Tour Sinnoh is origin forming up to be a neat event.
A Go Battle Week event is delivering a real knockout of a new Pokemon.
And more on this episode of GOCast. Hello and welcome to the GOCast podcast, episode 265. It's January 9th, a Tuesday evening, if you can believe it. I scarcely can myself. I'm your host, Chris, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, Kyle.
Hiya.
How you doing, Kyle?
I'm more alive than I was last week.
How's that mouth?
A lot better. Okay. Lacking in wisdom, but a lot better.
Last week, I tried to be as vague as possible because I was like, he's recovering from a dental procedure. And I realized that sounds so much more intense than, it sounds like you got like your jaw like surgically altered or something. But I guess technically you kind of did, right?
I mean, it's real surgery. It is real surgery.
It's real surgery. Don't want to downplay that. But yeah.
Yeah.
Good to see you're on the mend. All right, so we'll just hop right into it. We've got so much news to talk about, as has kind of been the case for the past like 5 episodes. So why should this one be any different? But Kyle and I set some goals, and so did Lachlan. And I've got all of our results here, but not Kyle's. Kyle's got his own results, but I've got Lachlan's and my own to share. So let's start with Lachlan. He wanted to catch 7 shiny Rowlet and at least 250,000 Stardust. It was Rowlet Community Day this past weekend, and it was a 3 times catch Stardust bonus. So happy to say Lachlan sent me some screenshots over the weekend, and he did indeed complete his goals. So good for you, Mr. Lachlan. Kyle, for yourself, you wanted to catch 10 shiny Rowlet.
I did.
Nice. And did you max that Hundo Rowlet you've been sitting on?
I did.
Sweet.
I finally evolved it too, but yes, I maxed it.
Sweet. Good job. That's 2 out of 2 for you as well. I wanted to catch 20 shiny Rowlet. I caught exactly 20.
Wow.
200. Okay. Yeah. 200,000 Stardust. I did that. And 50 eggs. I did not. I got like 37, something like that. I tried to multitask during Community Day this time and do some errands, and my plus did a really good job of getting me my shinies for my goal, but I didn't hatch as much because I wasn't like moving constantly, right? I was like going place to place and spending time there. It was a different experience for sure. This is how real people play this game. They don't just go out and dedicate 3 hours to the event. They weave it into things. So so you and Lachlan win this past week. Good for you. I was 2 out of 3. Both of you were 100%. So that's great. So how was your Rowlet Community Day? Let's talk about that really quick. I know we normally do it in the news section, but that's full enough. How was your Rowlet Community Day? Did you have a great time? Was it all you wanted it to be and more?
It was really good. I didn't get a chance to play as much as I wanted to overall, just some stuff, but I had a good time. I like catching Rowlets, and shiny Rowlet is a great shiny. Love it.
Yeah.
I'm sad I did not get a good shiny Rowlet. So, but I won 2 showcases, so we take that.
Nice. That medal's not going to do itself. So good for you. Good for you. Yeah, I had a great time too. And like I said, my attention was kind of split, but you can't argue that the Rowlet shiny is good. 3 times Stardust, is great. I'm a quarter hatch distance girly myself, but catch Stardust is a second place for me. And that's great. So people seem to enjoy it, and how could they not? Rowlet's really popular. So banger of an event, I think, safe to say, for sure. Yeah. Good deal. Okay, cool. Well, we just cleaned that right up. Let's go to the news section because it's waiting. Yo, what up? It's the news. Last week, Lachlan did that line for me, and it was wild. It was wild. We've got 4 pieces of news, I think. Yeah. So this one is the one that Lachlan and I omitted last week because we thought maybe we'd need something to talk about this week. How foolish and naive we were at that time. Anyway, the first one is the Dazzling Dream event shines ahead in Pokemon Go. The Dazzling Dream glitters ahead in Pokemon Go. Look forward to fairy-type Pokemon making an appearance and more during this sparkling event. I think we get it.
I have to say, it's too much to not say.
Yeah.
The Dazzling Dream event shines ahead. And then the line of text is the Dazzling Dream glitters ahead.
Yeah. It's both, I guess. It's both. It depends on what angle you're at. I don't know.
Write a different way of speaking. A different way of writing.
Either match it or change the format of what you're saying
so
we can't draw a parallel.
It stands out so much. Sorry, that's a nitpick. I think it's funny, though. It's
understand? I appreciate that. I do. When is this event shining or glittering for us trainers? It's starting Saturday, January 13th at 10 a.m. to Tuesday, January 16th at 8 p.m. local time. So it is starting this upcoming Saturday from day of recording. The event bonuses are twofold. They are 2 times Stardust for catching Pokemon and 2 times Stardust for hatching Pokemon. You're going to be seeing a lot of eggs in this and other things we're going to be talking about today, and also other events we've had recently. It's been very egg-centric. It's interesting.
Can I make a comment about last week's show? Current event, obviously, but it's going to be over by the time this is up. I need to say, I'm so bothered by the formatting of the 2 events that we just had, from the Lustrous event, because it's Lustrous Orb, and then the Adamant event. How can they be such a related concept that the events are so unrelated?
Yeah.
I could not believe it when I read the text. I don't know what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting them to release, the Rockruff whole thing and all of that, but that's a separate issue. How is one of them a Kanto revisit? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, I suppose it's like, the time displacement thing. Like, I get it.
But then why wasn't the second one also like that? Why did
it's supposed to be space related?
But then what does that have to do with Rockruff?
It's a great question.
What does it have to do with Rockruff?
Maybe it's because it was like, remember all those Rockruff you were saving, taking up space in your bag? Well, you can't evolve them, so you can get rid of that space in your bag.
Okay, that's all. I wasn't here. I'm sure everyone was dying to hear me say something about it if they thought about it. It bothered me. Yay, we have Duskform Rockruff or Lycanroc in the game.
Do you feel disrespected that the previous Rockruffs likely could not do it unless you hung onto an Adventure Sync one?
Only slightly, because the every Rockruff in the main series game couldn't evolve into Dusk either. It was only special Rockruffs. So if you looked ahead and you had the forethought to think about it, it makes perfect sense. Most people 2 years ago were not thinking about that.
Yeah, but also, like, if this would require you to look at it and go, all right, Niantic is gonna mess with us. There's a chance this won't work. We had no indication otherwise, but I guess if you kept your head on a swivel and you're like, man, Niantic's gonna, I don't know, do something with this. Maybe you're right.
Well, you think about it, they didn't release it. Why not? What makes this a different Pokemon than another one? You think that same thing for whenever they don't release a Pokemon in the game currently. Why not? And
no, that one's in the game.
And with the Lycanroc Duskform, at least it makes there is some logic you can, as a person, think about and like draw a line to the thoughts of a corporation in Niantic.
Yeah.
Versus like, why don't we have Aegislash in the game? Who knows?
Oh, wow.
There's several ways.
You're making so many references to last week's episode. This is great. Anyway, this event has some wild encounters, and it includes Flabébé. So let's get to the meat and potatoes of this. The following Pokemon will appear more frequently in the wild. Quick aside, also, for the first time in Pokemon Go, you'll be able to encounter Shiny Cutie Fly if you're lucky. Also, Flabebe is in this pool. Flabebe with differently colored flowers will be appearing in the wild, depending on where you are in the world. I know we've said that they're regional in the past, but we haven't refreshed people's memories on where they are. And thankfully, in this blog, they laid it out quite nicely. So here you go. Red flower Flabebe appears in Europe, the Middle East, and Africa. Blue flower Flabebe appears in the Asia Pacific or APAC region. And yellow flower Flabebe appears in the Americas. In addition, if you're really lucky, you can also see a white and orange one. Those are rarer, other than your regional specific color. So if you live in, let's just say you live in the UK, red is your base, and then white and orange are the rares. And you want to trade for blue and yellow from other people that you meet from other places, right? That's an example. Additionally to the Flabebe suite, Clefairy, Jigglypuff, Meryl, Snubble, Cottony, Spritzee, Swirlix, Dedenne, Cutiefly, Morlul, and Togetic. Eggs. See? Look, more eggs. The following Pokemon will hatch from 7-kilometer eggs. Cutiefly hatched from eggs will have a greater chance of being a shiny Pokemon than the Cutiefly found in the wild. It could be a marginal increase. It could be slight. Chances are slight, but still increased. The other Pokemon in the pool, aside from Cutiefly in these 7-kilometer eggs, are Togepi, Spritzee, and Swirlix. Those other ones can also be shiny, so that's all right. I know people are still chasing the Swirlix. Spritzee's shiny is good, although I think people have it. And Togepi's been shiny forever, so you know if you've been hatching eggs like I have, you probably have a whole colony of them. Field Research Task encounters could give you encounters with Alolan Vulpix, Spritzee, Swirlix, Cutiefly, Mawile, Carbink. Carbink is notable. Or you could get energy for Mega Gardevoir or energy for Mega Altaria. There's going to be collection challenges. Yahoo! If you complete them, you'll receive XP Stardust and an encounter with Carbink. Again, the Carbink there. You're going to want to Pineapple that Carbink, by the way, because you need candy for XL Carbink, which is like the number one use of Carbink. The new avatar item being added is actually really rad. The Cutiefly mask.
Wait,
I
didn't look at it.
I included the picture in the notes so Kyle could see it.
Oh my God.
It's wonderful. It's like a sleeping mask almost.
That's awful.
It's awfully incredible. I'm a big fan. And then lastly, there's going to be a paid time to research for $2, and you can complete the research tasks to earn 2 premium battle passes, XP Stardust, 2 star pieces, and encounters with event-themed Pokemon. Just between the passes and the star pieces alone, worth your $2. I think that's not bad at all. Kyle, weigh in on this glittering, shining, dazzling dream event.
I mean, it's fine. We get a lot of events that feature just fairy Pokemon. I feel like we had one like 2 months ago, but I could be misremembering because again, December and November lasted 12 months for me. Fairies don't do a whole lot for me. I'm kind of tired of seeing a lot of the fairies on this list because they spawn so much otherwise.
Yeah. I'm kind of tired of not seeing shiny Swirlix. That's what I'm tired of seeing. Jeez.
That's it. It's okay. I still need a red Flabebe, so maybe one day I'll trade for that.
Do you have the other one? Do you have blue?
I have DeFi traded me blue when we saw her in New York when she was coming back from Japan.
Oh, sweet. Oh, I should have thought ahead about that stuff and I didn't. Ugh. I got something else that you didn't get though, didn't I? I think we both got something from somebody that the other person didn't
probably
get.
I don't. We had like a lucky trade. I think I gave DeFi a Carbink just because so we could get it done. But
because she PvPs.
Yeah,
that's important.
Unfortunately.
Dang.
Yeah, it just kind of is as an event. That's all.
Yeah.
Positive, nothing negative here. That's for sure. So that's the true win.
It's a solid fairy type event. I mean, I always like seeing the 7-kilometer egg pools because it gives you some agency about trying to get those eggs, although you are limited by the gifts. I suppose, if you got the Expedition pass and you can open up more, that's a bonus for you right there, right?
This egg pool is horrendous. I'm sorry.
You think so?
Yeah. Like, okay, fine. It has shiny Cutiefly. That's fair. That's cool. But the other 3 have been around for so long.
Yeah, okay, I'll give you that.
It's been around for so long.
I got nothing, Kyle. You're right.
Granted,
you are right.
Granted, if it's only these 4, like total, and they're all equally weighted, for people who want to do this, it's great. I think it's terrible value, personally. But like for those who value it, it's really good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's me. So I'll hatch them, and I guess we'll see. Once I put one in an incubator, and then I tap it, and I see what the potential are, I'm going to be like, why are there 15 other Pokemon in this pool?
All of the Alolans are still there. I don't actually know what's in the eggs right now.
7 kilometer eggs are just not something I worry about as much unless they're in an event. So
I have 9 5-kilometer eggs right now, so I wouldn't know what that's like.
Nice. 9 5-kilometer eggs.
Yeah, and 2 12s.
Get hatching on those 12s, man.
They're in. I put them in incubators on
regular
day, so they're super incubators.
Oh, okay. I was about to say Madman, but if you did it on Rowlet Day, I guess that would be fine. But actually, no, because there was no.
I just
bonus,
did. So. I was out and moving at least a little bit. One of them's about to hatch, since I've only really worked one.
Good luck. Enjoy your new Volibye.
Can't wait to hatch a Pawniard.
A regular one.
Yeah. Okay. We're gonna move.
All right. Yeah, we are. All right. So the next event here is February 2024 Community Day featuring Chansey. Trainers were excited to announce that Chansey, the egg Pokemon, will be featured during February Community Day, which will be on Sunday, February 4th from 2 to 5 p.m. local time. Looks like we're never going back to 11 to 2. So the featured attack, this is weird to me. Evolve Chansey during the event or up to 5 hours afterward to get a Blissey that knows the charged attack Wild Charge. Not a new move and not a signature move for Blissey in any extent. In trainer battles, it does 100 power and guaranteed to decrease the user's defense. And in gyms or raids, it does 90. It's an electric type of move. Wild stuff right there. There's going to be a community special research story for $1. The event bonuses are 2 times candy for catching Pokemon, quarter hatch distance when eggs are placed in incubators, 2 times chance for trainers level 31 up to receive Candy XL, lure modules, and incense activated will last for 3 hours. The snapshots, the trade, you can have an additional one for an extra special trade. Trades cost half as much. Now, here's a new one. Happening has a chance of hatching from 2-kilometer eggs obtained during February Community Day. Happening that hatch from these eggs will have the same chance of appearing as a shiny Pokemon as Chansey that appeared during February Community Day. I mean, we've had 2-kilometer eggs featuring a specific baby for an event in the past before. It's just cool to see it on this Community Day. I think it fits quite well.
Has it had this wording before? Like, I know it says it can be boosted shiny, but like this is very specific wording.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's been this specific, although it was kind of like this. It ended up being like this.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is new verbiage.
Like Togepi. When we had Togetic Day. So
right. Exactly.
Okay.
And then they have a separate thing for eggs. They just say the same thing. You get a shiny happening, yada, yada. Bonus raids, the 4-star raids will feature Chansey, so after the event ends until 10 p.m. Local time, go ahead and do those raids if you want to get some more spawns around that gym after you complete that raid. Field research tasks will be around. Catch Chansey, do your stuff, and you can get encounters with Chansey, Stardust, Great Balls, and more. There will be showcases. Your guess is as good as mine, probably Chansey. There will be the usual bundles in the in-game shop and web store, and there's stickers. You can get them by spinning stops, buy them in the in-game shop, opening gifts, all that good stuff. So not too notable other than the kind of strange thing with Wild Charge here. Kyle, why would I care about Chansey Community Day?
It's kind of a chase shiny for those who don't have it yet. It's been featured so much though. Like it is always around.
Yeah, it is.
They throw it in raids when they know people are going to want to do some.
Yep.
It's a fun, rare encounter in some events and stuff like that, which is cool. I'm for that. All for that.
Does it give extra Stardust?
I don't think so.
Okay. Because it gives extra XP in the main series games.
Yeah. I don't think it does, though.
Okay.
It might. Audino gives extra Stardust, and it also gives extra XP in the main series. I'll have to look that up later, maybe if I find the answer. But I mean, I only have one shiny Chansey, which is kind of crazy to me. And I got it from Kanto Tour. That's it. Don't evolve your shiny into a Blissey. It's bad. Whereas shiny Chansey is cool.
Shiny Blissey is really not great.
You know what this event is for?
Oh my God, Kyle.
How many? You got what, like 6?
I had 6. How did you know?
It's just the right number.
Get out of my phone. Get out of my phone.
How many are they from? What are they from, though?
I've also already got a shiny Happiny, dude. That chase isn't even there for me. Oh, and one of them I did evolve into a Blissey, and I regret that.
Oh no.
This one was obtained in a trade. This one was from Gotor Johto.
Oh, that's funny.
Wild, GoFest 22.
Yeah,
okay. And Wild. So
all
over the place.
Seriously, the takeaway from this is, oh no. Oh.
Video people, I'm hatching a 12-kilometer egg. Lullaby. Sandile. Okay. We take that.
Also the most common Pokemon in that list, too.
Get out of here. I like him. He's cute. Anyway, continue. My bad.
Happiny. This event is about Happiny.
Yeah.
This sounds really weird. This is not a community day. It's a hatch day. You're here to hatch Happiny. And that's really it. Stocks on Happiny going way down.
That's true.
Granted, a lot of the stocks for Happiny are like Happiny with a hat, but that's neither here nor there.
Shiny Tyrogue is still up there. It's still peaking.
Yeah. I feel like the real takeaway is trying to get shiny Happiny for more people than trying to get a bunch of shiny Chansey.
Yeah.
I don't have a shiny Happiny, so maybe that's what'll be my goal. It's going to depend on the weather, honestly. I don't care enough. If it's like it is right now here in Chicago, I will probably not care too much.
It's not even that cold out. It's just cold raining. We call it snow, but it's
that's that we've gotten like 4 inches in the last few hours, and it's still going, and it's very heavy. Either way, weather's not nice over here.
Weather is ice over here.
Chansey's a very strange choice. When we found out about it, I just texted Chris, Chansey?
Question
mark? And that was it. That was the whole text, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I didn't even need to respond to you. You already, just yes.
Yep.
Chansey question mark. Yeah, I mean, it's a great gym defender. You can get your XLs for your Blissies so that you can, be a tyrant in gyms in your area.
And here's the thing. It doesn't even have a PvP use. Yeah. Maybe in some weird, like super, super niche scenario, but Chansey literally has 5 base attack in the main series games. It has like 35 special attack, but whatever. And Blissey has 10 attack and like 70 special attack. It's just bad. It's a wall, and the walls don't have use if they can't hit back and go.
Right.
And normal's not a good type. It's not a good type and go.
Normal's not a great type. No, it's not. Because it lacks the thing that made it really, even remotely interesting, which was immunity to Ghost. And so that's not really celebrated or explored in Go that much. So
yeah.
Anyway, it's Chansey Community. Take it or leave it. Chansey is a popular Pokemon. It is Gen 1. It was rare in the Safari Zone. It was kind of the poster child for rarer Pokemon, as was Scyther and the like. So, it will evoke some nostalgia and some favor for that reason alone. But
it's not that it's a bad day, but I still think full stop Chansey is such a better Pokemon for featuring in events repeatedly.
Yeah,
I would rather see
events or something.
I would have rather seen the line trainers have a chance of finding and of encountering a Chansey at the end of a list over and over and over again than to see it in a community day, because I think it's actually cool as a special spawn, not as a whole day.
Yeah, it's weird. It is kind of exciting to see it pop up. Like, oh well, Chansey, I gotta catch this. Oh boy, yeah,
could be shiny,
could be shiny, could be green. Oh boy. Anyway, let's move on to our next news topic here, which is it's wild. All right, the origin forms of Dialga and Palkia have emerged in Pokemon Go, bringing almighty adventure effects. Trainers seek out all Pokemon. Origin form Dialga and origin form Palkia. Wait, I didn't write that twice. I just read it wrong. Origin form Dialga and origin form Palkia have been discovered in Pokemon Go, and trainers can encounter them for the first time during space-time anomalies at Pokemon Go Tour Sinnoh. What are space-time anomalies? I have no idea. They don't really explain it here. The arrival of these legendary Pokemon across time and space to Pokemon Go have introduced a new phenomenon: adventure effects. Adventure effects are temporary bonuses to help you on your Pokemon Go journey or adventure, is listed here, activated by powerful Pokemon attacks that may be used outside of battle. Adventure effects have been reported to occur when Origin form Dialga uses Roar of Time and when Origin form Palkia uses Spatial Rend. With these latest revelations, who knows what adventure effects may be discovered in the future. So this is like taking place of HMs in the main series game. When can I get my Bidoof to rock smash a real life boulder in front of me? That's what I want. So Pokemon debuts for this. The origin forms of both Dialga and Palkia, they're making their debut 5-star raids, space-time anomalies during Pokemon Go Tour Sinnoh. And technically global. They'll be at the ticketed event in LA, but their true global debut for everybody is during the global version of that event. So let's take this one at a time. Adventure effect Roar of Time. Trainers who encounter and defeat origin form Dialga in a raid battle have a chance to catch one that knows the charged attack Roar of Time. Trainers can activate the adventure effect associated with Roar of Time by using 5,000 Stardust and 5 Dialga candy, distorting time for 6 minutes and pausing the timer of the following items: Incense, Daily Adventure Incense, Lucky Eggs, and Star Pieces. Now, this doesn't stop them. This just stops the timer, and they're still in effect. So you're essentially elongating the effect of these items, right? You can extend the timer for a Roar of Time's adventure effect in increments of 6 minutes by using more Stardust and Dialga candy. The timer can be extended up to 2 hours each time you tap Use, which is the button that's going to say Use on it. And you can tap Use again to add additional time up to 24 hours total. That sounds so expensive.
Can I have this for instance, please, though? Like the actual ones?
That'd be nice.
Why do I have to keep going back into my inventory?
Hey, man. Taps, I guess. Once Roar of Time ends, the timer on any active items will continue to count down. Roar of Time cannot be active as the same time or at the same time as any other adventure effect. So you can't have the to be explained in a moment Spatial Rend and Roar of Time going at the same time. At this time, Origin form Dialga will be unable to learn Roar of Time via any TM. So even after this event is over, unless they make a change, I think they're pointing out that, charge TMs or elite charge TMs will still not be able to get this move. You have to get them from this event during Go Tour Sinnoh. Okay. Next up is Spatial Rend. This one is with Origin form Palkia. It's the same deal, but the effect is a little bit different. You can activate the adventure effect associated with Spatial Rend by using 5,000 Stardust and 5 Palkia candy, distorting space for 10 minutes and allowing for encounters with wild Pokemon at an increased distance. This is kind of wild, this one. The other one is cool, but this one is like, outside of the box. You can extend the timer for Spatial Rend's adventure effect in increments of 10 minutes by using more Stardust and Palkia candy. And this can be extended the same way, up to 2 hours each time you tap Use, for a total of 24 hours if you keep doing that over and over again. When it ends, you can't get the benefit anymore, and then this one will also be locked out of TMs, any TMs, until I guess they say otherwise. So that's cool. These are going to be, at Go Tour Sinnoh, and they do kind of say, hey, trainers participating in the global event will have a chance of encountering these with their signature attacks. And people will see it first at the LA event. This is very similar to the primal reversion that we had for Kyogre and Groudon last year. It's the same treatment, so nothing too crazy. Now, the Pokemon that you encounter during Go Tour Sinnoh is going to be determined or based on it'll affect your chances based on what version you have. So if you take the Diamond version of the event, Origin form Dialga with Roar of Time, will be, you'll have greater chances, right? And Pearl version, origin form Palkia, knowing Spatial Rend, will have your bonus chance there. And then as for the numbers with these moves, outside of these adventure effect things, here are the numbers. Roar of Time in trainer battles does 140 power. Wowza G's. Gyms and raids, it does 160. Spatial Rend does 95 power in trainer battles, and gyms and raids does 160. Now, this is weird to me, this discrepancy, because if I just looked at the 140 and 95 for trainer battles, I'd be like, oh, Spatial Rend is a 2-bar charge, and Roar of Time is a 1-bar charge. That would make sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they both, in gyms and raids, they both do 160, Kyle. I have
It's
no
kind of
clue.
weird, especially because they're like, maybe they're thinking, oh no, watch out for Palkia, but everyone's like, watch out for Dialga in PvP already. So like,
yeah, I guess so. It's just, I don't know. It's weird. Yeah, it's not like they're trying to balance it in any way like that. It's very strange. One last note on the featured attack: Smeargle cannot learn these moves, so you can't get a Smeargle snapshot with your origin form and then hand those out like a dealer in your local group. No, it ain't gonna work. Yeah,
glad they mentioned it though.
It is, yeah. The communication in these last few things with their specific verbiage have been pretty good. But anyway, Kyle, I'm dying to hear your thoughts on the adventure effect stuff, because I can kind of see it going both ways. It adds a layer of complexity that might be unnecessary, or I could kind of see you going like, this is neat to see them thinking outside the box within the established effects and features of the game.
Okay, here's my hang up for it, because I'll start with that. It costs candy.
Yeah,
that's the full stop. There's no, I feel like I don't need to explain myself, but I will. If it just costs Stardust, it would be fine. I wouldn't care. Wouldn't even think about it. It costs candy, which means it costs a raid pass, or 100 kilometers walking that Pokemon, or 5 rare candy, which still means raid pass or PvP, I suppose.
Yeah.
So you're looking at the opportunity cost of this raid pass versus the benefit that your adventure effect provides, and the Stardust cost, which, if you actually want to use it for significance, is a lot. Like it's quite high. If you wanted to extend your bonus of these premium items of an Incense Star Piece and Lucky Egg for like a period of time instead of having to reuse them, you look at 300,000 Stardust to use it for like 6 hours for like a whole event or something. The alternative is buying, 20 of each of those items. Or 8 of each of those items, depending on which item you're looking at. Star Piece is 30 minutes, obviously, and since they're an hour and all that. So it's a weird balance, because the benefit, the effect's really cool. I like it. It's fun. How much am I actually going to use it? Because how often am I going to have extra Palkia and Dialga candy?
Yeah, I think the idea is more like, do you have an excess of rare candy? And you and I mention often that we have a lot of rare candy, but do we have this much rare candy to just sort of like shell out?
Here's the thing. We both have excess of rare candy. We have a lot of rare candy. I think last time I looked, I had 1,000. I have 1,000 not because I have nothing to use it on, but because I haven't decided to use it on something.
Right.
There's always something you can put rare candy towards, unless you are at the pinnacle of this game, which we know a lot of players that are like that, of course, but there's many, 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 many more where this cost is so high that they will almost never use it.
True. I mean, like, let's just do like a little bit of a quick math here, right? For Spatial Rend, it's for 10 minutes, it's 5,000 Stardust and 5 Palkia candy, right? So if you do that times 6, it's 30K and 30 Palkia candy. And you can do that up to 2 hours. So 60,000 Stardust and 60 Palkia candy for just 2 hours. And then you can multiply that by 12, that cost. And this is already kind of an astronomical cost, right? We're talking 660,000, right? Like, or more. Sorry, I think that math is wrong. But it's much more than 500,000. It's much more than 500,000.
But that's why I was looking at it like maybe as a more conservative 8-hour chunk, because say you go to a Go Fest or a tour or a Safari Zone or something like that. That's where these kind of things really stand out. And there's an argument to be had about the Palkia one because you can't replicate this. There are no dewdrops like there are in Monster Hunter now. So this is a unique effect here. But obviously for the Dialga for Roar of Time, you can just buy more of those items if you want to. You can buy more Lucky Eggs, you can buy more Star Piece, you can buy more Incense. And so the question comes down to what's worth more, the Dialga candy each time you do it or the premium items. And at a certain point, Dialga candy is not worth anything for the most part, unless you're making 6 or you're converting them to XL, which don't do that. That's a bad idea unless you're a super whale. But it's the raid pass that you're using to do that Dialga. Now, if it's your free raid pass, okay, fine. But how often does Dialga come around? Every 6 months, maybe.
Yeah. And I think that this kind of just points back to them being like, hey, we need a rare candy sink.
Yeah. And it's not bad. I don't think it's bad. I think that I would have rather seen a higher Stardust cost and no candy.
Yeah, for sure.
There's already a lot of Stardust things, of course, in the game. So like that's a bad idea. I'm sure that all the PvPers want to shank me for saying that. But it's I don't like seeing the candy. I love these effects. Well, okay. I think Dialga's effect is actually garbage. I don't like it. It doesn't do anything for me.
The effect timer one, just for those at home.
For the premium items. You use those when you have a specific plan for when you're using them. And if you're not, well, you're probably not. You're not using them very well.
So hear me out. What if you are like short a couple of Lucky Eggs for an event, and so you're like, you know what? I'll Roar of Time for like just a little bit and supplement that, so I push it a little bit further.
Yeah, I mean it has purpose, but at the same time, you are paying that opportunity cost that could have bought an Incense instead.
Yeah. But it is nice because it sort of like splits that choice over a couple of different options. So in the past, if let's say you were for a 3-hour event and you wanted Lucky Eggs on the entire time, you only had 4 Lucky Eggs. Your only recourse was to buy 2 more Lucky Eggs. And now in this case, you have 2 options. You could always just buy more Lucky Eggs, or you could do this Roar of Time thing and extend the life of the ones that you currently have active. Like, I like having the choice, but I think you're right. I think the value judgment of it seems a little off tune. I think it's, for me, like, what's weird is that the time is different for these two, right? Like,
yeah, they clearly have decided which one they think is more valuable, and it's the one that costs them premiums, of course.
But I dislike that it's 6 minutes. I mean, like, I get, it's a 60 base, right? Because it's time, but I'd so much rather it be like 5 minutes just for my brain. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
it sounds neat.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I think it's cool. I will probably use it when I go to events and I have big stuff happening in Go. Yeah. I will probably never use this for anything else. Like, I'll never use this on a community day or something like that. So
the one thing here, and we're burying the lead, the most important thing about this, Kyle, is that these Pokemon were debuted, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which means for us, the introduction and debut of Dialga and Dialgo and Palkia and Palkio.
This is true. This is true. And now we're going to talk about this for 2 seconds. These are the 2 worst designed Pokemon in all of Pokemon. I will not have the argument any other way. They are worse than Klefki in my mind. I think objectively they are the worst designed Pokemon.
I think the Palkia looks okay. The Dialga I'm not too hot on, but
Centaur with no arms. Why doesn't it have arms?
So
Palkia had arms. It would be so cool if it had arms and it was actually a Centaur.
Was it you that pointed out to me that it would be cool with arms? That the 2 of them take specific features, or they copy or imitate features from Arceus, like the legs and the other bit.
I mean, yeah, they definitely do. Yeah. I just refuse. Doesn't matter if there's logic behind why they exist. I think they are so ugly. I played through Legends Arceus. I was 100% expecting another form. I thought, okay, this is like This is the incomplete or something. And at the end, they're going to combine together and they're going to make like Arceus origin form where it's like all three of them together or something. I don't know. I could not believe that this was the final design.
In disbelief. Yeah, I kind of understand. They are kind of goofy looking, but you know, I don't know. The more I stared at the Palkia, it kind of grew on me a little bit. But
it's no arms. It's so weird.
No arms. You needed arms. Yeah.
That's it. I'd love to hear what other people have to say about these adventure effects because I feel like there's a lot to talk about here.
There is. I mean, a lot of it is like potential, but also like think about Apex Pokemon and how we've never seen them since that one thing. So this could be sort of a set it and forget it for them as well. Who knows? But anyway, it's cool that they're trying new things, I think. And again, more agency is always good. We talk about that on the show quite a bit. So awesome. Well, why don't we move along here to our last piece of news? This is the most recent piece of news. It just came out a little bit ago. Prepare yourself for a battle week featuring the debut of the Rage Monkey Pokemon, Annihilape. We love Annihilape on this program. Trainers, initiate battle formation. Get ready for a week full of battles to celebrate the debut of Annihilape, the Rage Monkey Pokemon. This event will be from Friday, January 19th at 10 a.m. to Wednesday, January 24th at 8 p.m. local time. The debut is Annihilape, which is an evolution of Primeape. It gets ghost typing. You can evolve Primeape into Annihilape after you defeat 30 ghost or psychic type Pokemon in battle with Primeape as your buddy. You do not have to defeat these Pokemon with Primeape themselves, which is really nice. Because that would be a pain in the butt. Event bonuses for this would be Team Go Rocket will appear more frequently in Pokestops and in balloons, and Throw and Sawk will both appear in the wild during the event, regardless of your location. So that's pretty cool. We just saw this with Lunatone and Solrock, and so now we'll see this with Throw and Sawk. Kind of cool. Wild encounters, the pool includes Mankey, Machop, Lickitung, Gligar, Sableye, Throw, Sawk, and Scraggy. There's also a slight raid rotation shakeup. 1-star raids will feature the likes of Snubbull, Houndour, Pancham, and Marini. 3-star raids will feature Primeape, Gyarados, and Zvilus. Field research task encounters will feature Mankey, who would have guessed. There will be collection challenges. You can get 3 fast TMs, 3 charge TMs, and Stardust from them. And then there's going to be a Go Battle Week timeless travels situation from Friday the 19th to Wednesday, January 24th at 8 p.m. local time. It's just for the entirety, basically, of the event. They're going to talk about this on PvP Corner. If it's not this week, it'll be next week, so we'll let them talk about it. But you get like the 4x Stardust bonus and all that good stuff. It's a GBL event. There's going to be paid timed research as well called Raging Battles. It'll be $2 US, or the equivalent pricing tier in your country. And complete the research tasks to earn 3 rare candy, 1 rocket radar, Stardust, and 2 premium battle passes. Kind of worth it, I think. The rocket radars are expensive, and 2 premium raid passes right there, that's $2 essentially from their pricing model, right? So, Mr. Kyle, your highlights Annihilape, right?
Yeah. I love Annihilape. Oh my god, Annihilape is the best Pokemon that came out with Paldea, and I'll fight people on it because it's so good.
That's right.
Yeah, and it's great. I'm just excited. I'm curious. This is just random. Why is Gligar and Lickitung on the wild encounters? What logic am I missing here for those two?
Yeah.
I'm sure someone listening probably has I already know.
I mean, Lickitung candy is always in. I mean,
I'm not upset that they're there. It's just usually there's like the theming of everything else is very strong for the most part, and then those stood out. I was like, huh?
It's like a pseudo fighting / PvP event, you know. So like,
yeah, okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Oh boy,
but also the PvP aspect, and because it's battle week. Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. I don't really have anything else to say. Also, then, echo the excitement of Annihilape. Like Kyle said, I also think one of the greatest Pokemon from Paldea. Very cool. And we were getting this show together. We were like, oh, there's a lot of news. We got a lot of emails. We'll probably cut some sections. Let's cut Gear Up and let's cut Pokelore. And Kyle's like, that's a real shame because we could probably talk about Annihilape this week. The Pokelore, or the Dex entry for for Annihilape is hysterical.
It's good.
I mean, we'll do it at some point in time, but like, I don't know. Should we spoil it?
No, we'll talk maybe next week if we don't have something stand out next week to talk about.
Yeah. Okay, cool. We'll save it. It's good. If you want to spoil yourselves, go look it up, but it's fantastic. So that's a cool event to look forward to, even if you're not a battler. Which kind of reminds me, Kyle, have you been battling this season at all?
Absolutely not.
Dude, I have been.
Oh no.
I'm actually pretty far in my
look, Eevee.
past. It's Eevee Spotlight Hour right now. I have done 106 battles so far.
Okay.
Yeah. It's been okay. It's been okay. I'm having fun, I think. So I'm excited to tell Fish and DeFi that I think I'm having a good time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had to tell somebody. It was driving me crazy. All right, cool. Anyway, look, Eevee. Let me just hit my plus. All right. That's it for news. And as I just said, we're going to be skipping over Gear Up this week and Pokelore. So we're going to take a quick break. And then when we come back, we'll be hopping into Poké Poll. Welcome back. It's Poké Poll time, Mr. Kyle. Lachlan picked up the slack last week. That was cool. I'm excited. I'm excited to have you here so that you can do this because I don't know. It's just weird, man. You know, like when you're doing the solo show, I'm like, you were, again, people writing in saying it was great. You did a great job. But did it also just feel weird to you, even though you knew it was the right thing to do? Like, this sounds strange for me to say this thing.
I'm talking for too long now.
Yeah, exactly right.
You get halfway through and you're like, I'm still talking.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So last week's question was, what are your goals as a Pokemon Go trainer this year? First one is from Walrain. They said, hopefully I can get to level 50. I'm about a week short of level 48 and really think I can get over that hill. I feel very fulfilled knowing how far I've come in this adventure, and a lot of my journey has to do with the proverbial family of listeners to this podcast, the tips and tricks I've learned, and most importantly, my love for this franchise.
Woo!
My first came around in June 2022. I was level 37 with 11 million experience. Now I'm level 47 with 120 million. and maybe a Schlundo Walrein. All right.
It's nice.
That's the only thing I asked for in Lucky Trades. LOL. # for the brand. Cheers and shiny vibes all.
Excellent.
Yep.
Excellent. Yeah. I gotta say, since June 2022, going from 11 million experience to 120 is nuts.
It's a lot. That's a lot. That's like 18 months. So you're averaging like 8 million experience a month.
Yeah. Yep.
Roughly. Maybe it's a little high. Either way, yeah, it's a lot of experience. That's yeah. Well
impressive.
Done.
Very impressive.
And good luck on your way to level 50.
Yep. We'll be here. Let us know how it goes. Or when you hit 49, because that'll be exciting too in its own right.
Next one's from Modders. And he said, hello, gents and DeFi. 2 goals for the year. First is to up my egg hatches. I want to average 1,000 eggs per quarter.
My man.
Last year, I averaged 823. So I've got a bit of work to do there. My second goal is actually a challenge. I've been challenged by Dad, fellow GOCast podcast Discord veteran, to a race to 500 million experience. When we started last week, I was just over 350 million. And as of this moment, I'm on just over 352 million. So you can say the challenge has lit a fire under me. Wish me luck. Loving your work. Cheers. Got 2 million experience in less than a week. I mean, I know people are like, yeah, I want to get 12 million Stardust next week. There are those players, but that's still crazy to me. That's crazy.
Oh yeah. I mean, and you got to be really, really on top of your friendships if you're going to do something like this. You know, that's kind of like the most guaranteed way over a long period of time to, do it. So Godspeed to both of you.
Next one's from Dad. They said, hello, Chris, Kyle, Fish, and DeFi. Very straightforward goals for 2024. Reach 500,000 catches and to beat at Modders to 500 million experience. Winner buys. So I'm looking forward to the pint I'm going to have to buy him.
Aw.
Cheers. Oh, currently at 430,000 catches and 364 million experience.
That's
not enough of a lead, Dad.
No, it's not.
I don't think it is.
What if this comes down to like 1 or 2 million between them, and like this lead will matter?
Y'all are looking to get the amount of experience it takes to get from 1 to 50 over the course of this year. I can't even imagine.
I can because they got it. They can do it.
No, I believe that they can do it. I know they can do it. It's still crazy to me though.
Well, good luck to you as well, Dad, as modders, obviously. But yeah, we're excited, I guess, to follow this. This is kind of intense.
Next one comes in the form of an email from Baby Evie. They said, "Hey, Chris and Kyle, Baby Evie here. To answer the Poké Poll for this week, I'd like to reach level 43, and I'd also like to be able to add to my Pokemon storage, as I'm currently at 449 out of 450. Made it to 43 with only 450 storage. That's super impressive. That's super impressive.
Could not be either of us.
Oh my God.
No way.
Yeah, that's awesome. I also had an idea about a feature for Pokemon Go. I think it would be cool if you could see if someone has reached their daily 50 Pokecoins when you tap on their Pokemon in a gym. And also have any Pokemon that get knocked out after you reach your daily 50 to give you half of what you would have got the next day. What do you think about those ideas? May Bidoof smile upon you, Baby Evie."
Those are good ideas. Any way that situation in gyms and your Pokecoins that you get where people keep getting messed up and just completely they lose out on all those potential coins. Any way to make that better, I'm for.
Yeah. Anything. Pretty much anything that can like pay it forward or keep a running counter for the next day. That'd probably be pretty broken if you could like get 12 gyms all in one day and suddenly you have 50 Pokecoins for the next 12 days. That might be a problem.
I mean, did you not do the work? Right? I mean, you did.
I mean, it depends who you ask, I guess. If you ask Niantic, you didn't. But
oh, sure.
So yeah, I mean, anything that can work for it. Our last one's from I hope I pronounced this right. The Fanuke. Fanuke is better for me. They said, level 50, baby. Currently at level 44. 1 level every other month. I'm going to do it. All right. So you have got about 100 million experience to go. You can do that.
Oh, yeah.
You can do that. That might 110 million, maybe. Yeah. Good luck. I can't do it. I need about 60 million more.
It's definitely
I need about 60 million more experience to 50. So
the experience, the number itself, doable. I mean, is it tough? You're gonna have to grind, yes. But honestly, I think the biggest thing here between 44 and 50 are some of those challenges are really time consuming.
There's only one.
Is it the Go Battle League one or the Team Rocket? The Team Go Rocket one. I mean, the Go Battle League one was also a little.
Yeah, but like that one you can at least just grind out.
True. Also, don't forget the Best Buddies one too that you were stuck on for a while. Right? Don't you need not Best Buddies. That's the other one. You have to max Pokemon to 50.
Yeah, but that's also just 3 community days now. It's much more manageable than when we first had that added.
Yeah.
There's some challenges. I believe in you though. I look forward to hearing about success.
Yeah, good luck.
For this week's Poké Poll, we have, if the trainer level cap was increased to 60, what would you like the 50 to 60 journey to look like? I know what I don't want it to look like. I'll start with that.
The 40 to 50 journey?
I just don't want it to look like experience. I don't care what it is. I just don't want it to look like experience. First, because you have modders and Dad who have 500 million experience. So like it doesn't matter to them anymore. But then you have everyone else who just hit it and the grind is not fun. I think copious amounts of challenges. Take the exact concept they have currently, multiply it by 20. And I would be more interested than having to grind experience.
Yeah, I definitely agree, man. The only thing is I didn't like the Team Go Rocket bit and I didn't like the GBL bit because it made me do things that I did not want to do. I'm fine with doing lots of a thing, but give me some choices at each level. Maybe like a branching path where it's like, hey, are you a raider? Are you a catcher? Are you,
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
battler?
They want to encourage / force people to do the stuff that they're coding. So
I
that
get
if 50 to 60 ever comes out, there's going to be a task of walking 150 routes. So
sure. Oh God.
I walked my first route this last week too.
How did it go? Did you see Mateo? Did you get a cell?
Mateo. I did get a cell as well.
It's all working, folks.
I got a gift from Japan.
Wow. You got the whole experience, man.
Yeah.
It worked for you. Good for you.
I drove it. It was just a nice long 1,000 meters of like nobody. The person who made that route did not make that on foot. I can tell you right now.
No,
I know my neighborhood.
No. Moose got one in Emmerson, and from point to point, it's like 1,010 meters. It's like the perfect length.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and make time to make sure I do that route a few more times so I can finally get this stupid route special research done, because it's just irritating me.
Yeah, but the next step has you do more.
Yeah, I know, but I want to get it done so it's not on the list anymore.
Oh, yeah. My least favorite thing right now is the one that is like, hey, encounter Mateo 3 times. Yeah. And because you can only do it once a day. So that's a big pain in the...
also, I guess I lied. This is my second route. The first route we did all together in the mall, but that doesn't count because I had other people with me.
Oh, yeah.
My first one to myself.
Fair enough. Yeah, so I understand. Just one more point I have. I understand what you're saying about them wanting to encourage us to engage with all parts of the game and stuff, but that was already in the 40 to 50. If we're doing 50 to 60, I see no reason why I couldn't be more respectful to the agency of the player than type, because you've already done the grind. You've already seen all the features. I guess, routes wasn't there at the time, so putting routes in makes sense. I get it. But if I have to do another 50 rocket leaders, I'm going to be like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, that said, if you want me to do 300 grunts, okay, I won't be super happy, but that's fine because that's a specific goal.
Yeah.
But the fact that it was 50 liters and 100 grunts was really they knew what they were doing, and I didn't like it.
You know what would have been worse? Is if they're like, defeat Arlo 20 times, defeat Cliff 20 times.
That would have been 20 awful. Oh my God.
Because you could never find that one. You always find the 2. You can't find the 3rd for your stinking Giovanni research. It always happens.
Do you want to see how many research I have currently going right now, by the way?
I don't think I do, but you're going to hold it up to the screen and I'm going to see it and just...
Now, bear in mind, 2 of those are Team Rocket, so they're just sitting there intentionally.
Yeah. Wow, dude. Wow.
One of those is the masterwork, which I'm slowly progressing, but that's going to take a million years. The rest, I have no excuse.
My party play one is still taking forever because I simply do not party play. So, yeah.
Oh, God.
Anyway, dear listener, if you have an answer to this week's Poké Poll question, which was, if the trainer level cap was increased to 60, what would you like the 50 to 60 journey to look like? You can answer the question we posted on X. If you're a patron of ours, you can post in the Patreon Discord channel, the Poké Poll channel. If you're watching on YouTube, we do have a video version of the show. We've actually shown our phones twice for some fun visual stuff. If you're watching on YouTube, you can comment your response to the Poké Poll question there. If you're listening to us on Spotify, in the mobile app, there's actually a tab for this episode where you can interact with us directly there and answer the question. But you can, of course, do the old-fashioned thing and send us an email to mail@gocastpodcast.com or call and leave us a voicemail at 262-586-7717. But we use those 2 ways of communication in another way as well, not just for Poké Poll answers, but for just saying hey. And speaking of Mr. Kyle, what time is it?
It's emails.
That's right. And no voicemails. I saved a couple of emails from last week because we were running out of time. So we're going to start there. This first one is from JK Awesome. And they said, hi. Just wanted to drop you a line. My kids and I have been obsessed with Pokemon for the past few years. It started with a Pikachu card my son was gifted and exploded from there. I had been resisting. Huh?
So that's how it always does.
Oh, yeah, that's the story. Tale as old as time. I had been resisting Pokemon Go for a long time due to knowing I would become addicted. I was in the hospital with an issue and said, to heck with it, and downloaded the app over the summer. Not shockingly, I had my kids take my phone to the 3 Pokestops in the hospital for the days I was admitted. We now go on Poke Walks when the weather is nice, and I find myself driving around with them looking for raids. We found your podcast a month or so ago and love it. Thank you for doing this and being joyful about the game. It is so easy to be bitter and complain about what doesn't work, but you both are so positive. JK Awesome. Well, sorry, signed to JK Awesome. They are also, I guess, JK Awesome.
It's nice to hear someone thinks I'm positive. So I try to be positive. I'm also.
You're constructive, Kyle.
Yeah,
you're constructive.
I try to be.
The constructive criticism is what growth is built on. That's right. Great. Glad to hear that you're having fun with your kiddos and that y'all can do it together. I hope that whole hospital situation's all sorted out. And it's too late now. There's no going back. You're doomed. Pokemon Go is now life. Welcome.
Yep.
And thanks for writing in.
Look forward to hearing updates and tales because they will. They will happen. Our next email is from Vihan, and they said, "Hi, Chris and Kyle. Darkrai Hunter here. Just wanted to say your podcast is amazing. I used to listen to random trivial podcasts, but couldn't get used to them. But then my friend recommended this. I've been playing Pokemon Go for about 3 months now, and just recently got a Shadow Hundo. Nice.
Shadow.
I go to school from 9 to 3 and can only fit about 1 to 2 hours of gameplay every day, so I do not regularly get to spin stops. I was wondering if you had any suggestions on what to do with my account when I have no spawns. May Bidoof and Lechonk smile upon you. Darkrai Hunter. P.S. How many hundos do you both have?" Chris is going to have a lot more than me on that one. I mean, the big suggestion when you have no spawns is do GBL. Get good at it. Like that's a great, if you find joy in doing GBL, it's a great thing to do when you're at home.
Yes.
Especially if you're limited access, there are very cheap budget options from every event that comes out of what can be good in PvP. It might not be the most top tier, but you'll find something you like eventually. And once that sticks, like you'll lose your whole evening to doing GBL if that's what you end up liking.
Yeah. Inventory management is always a good thing to get in the habit of doing. I say as I never do it.
Yep.
But yeah, other than that, I mean, GBL honestly is like the big answer. You could pop an incense, but you got to be walking around. And at that point in time, I'm sure you'd find regular spawns anyway. And make sure that the stuff around you, like, in your neighborhood and things like that, can't have been submitted for Pokestops if they haven't been already. And that might help your spawn situation when you're stationary at home. I mean, for me, I've got one Pokestop across the street from me and not another one anywhere near me close, but there are tons of spawns. So keep playing and look for stop nominations and play GBL.
Yeah.
Kind of it. And as for hundos, I've got 174.
I've got 60.
Nice.
4 of them are Bidoof.
Nice.
No, it's like 2, but still.
I have like 3. I've named them all ridiculous things. I don't even think I can say it on our show. So I'm going to leave that there. But thank you very much, Darkrai Hunter and /or Vihan for writing in. Appreciate it. This next one is from Kevin Red Bull. I said, "What is up, boys and girls? Happy GOCast podcast." True. Chris and Kyle, strap in, fellas. I got a doozy for you. Picture it. New Year's Eve in Michigan. I'm there. It was cold, it was wet, and it was dark because we were outside watching the dogs play for the last time in 2023. My buddy looks at me and says, "We should full send something one more time this year." I respond, "Sure." After scrolling back and forth through our lists, I get into agree on trading shiny bag-ons to each other. We face our phones down and wait 20-ish seconds. We glance, and it is lucky. I check to see what mid-average 3-star I have my hands on, and gasp, I couldn't believe it. My very first Schlundo. We scream, we holler. I can't wipe the disbelief off my face. That's awesome. What a way to end a roller coaster of a year. I will apologize at the end, but this story is not yet over. Eyes emoji. Fast forward to Rowlet Community Day, a measly 6 days later. My roommate offers to buy my fiance and I Chick-fil-A before Community Day begins, and we humbly oblige. We get good food, meet up with previously mentioned Schlundo friend, and begin our Community Day. Everything was going great, and then we run into a fellow community member, a lucky friend, a townie by the name of HB Horses. And is there also a 2B horse and a 4B horse? And such a dumb joke that only like 3 people are going to get.
Look, it took me 3 seconds to get it, so it's going to take, some people are going to be like, what are you talking about?
Pencils, drawing pencils, everybody. Look it up. Yeah.
Pencil hardness.
That's right. A townie by the name of HB Horses, and we are lucky friends usually 5 times every year. She still had 2 special traits, but my roommate and I each had one. We were both lucky friends with her. We ran around the block to find her, and I am asked with finding the first trait. I settle upon a shiny I am privy to, and I feel Kyle would appreciate. Shiny your mask.
Oh.
Haha, a simple trade later, and I simply lost my mind. Within a week, I had received 2 shiny, lucky, 100% Pokemon, and have improved my Shundo total to 5. I screamed again, I hollered again, and everyone was collectively over my business for the week. Like I said, I am so sorry for the long story. It was a doozy to type. I'm sure it was a fun read. Now just imagine how I felt living it. I love this game. Couldn't wait to share my stories with you guys. I hope you are happy, healthy, and get all you ask for out of 2024. Happy New Year's and shiny vibes all. Kevin Red Bull. Love it. I love everything about that. That's incredible. Good storytelling too. Love it.
You forgot one part of the story though, Kevin. You forgot about saying that the person you traded with got a 12-12-12 lucky to match your hundo.
J level on the other side of that equation. Gotta be. Oh my gosh. That's awesome. Yeah. Kevin, I'm hoping that we get to see you and we'll see you at an event maybe this year. That'd be cool. Again. And thanks for writing in. Thanks for sharing that story with us. Very, very cool.
Next email's from Emerald Skull, and they said, hey guys, I had a really frustrating thing happen to me today while playing Go, and it made me think, I wonder what the most frustrating thing to happen to Kyle and Chris in Go was. I live 10 minutes walking distance from work, but there is an in-game route in the opposite direction. So I decided to go the opposite way home to do this route, and my signal cut out halfway through. I even waiting in the blistering cold for the game to reload, and nothing. I then had to turn back around and walk home, very frustrated that it didn't work. Thanks. Oh, that's rough.
That is rough. Yeah. What's the most frustrating thing? Can you narrow it down, Kyle? I
can give an answer that I don't know if it's the most frustrating, but I still remember it.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't lose shinies very often. For the most part, if I encounter it, I catch it. It's almost, unless my plus is catching it, and then I don't count it because I didn't see it. One of the earliest ones that I remember not catching was a shiny Ghastly on Community Day. I'm still slightly salty about it, and I currently have like 46 shiny Ghastly.
That was the Shundo.
No, it was the Shundo.
It was the Shundo.
Don't do this to me. So that's still up there. I'm still upset about it, and it doesn't even matter that I have so many. So like that one comes back to me every time.
Yeah, I
know your answer. I know an answer if you don't get it. So go ahead.
Wait, so is it?
I'll answer for you.
Were we in a different state?
We were in a different state.
Was it a raid?
Okay.
Does he have a mustache?
Wait, hang on. No. Does he?
I switched to Guess Who reference there. I'm sorry. No, there was one particular Reshiram, it was a Zekrom raid that broke my spirit. I threw, kid you not, every single ball. I had the extra balls from friends and stuff and doing well in the raid, yada, yada, yada. Every single throw was an excellent curveball throw with a golden raspberry, and that thing ran away from me. And I have never been so frustrated.
They were like instant breakouts too. Just break.
It was
Break.
awful.
Break.
It was awful. I was sitting there with my head in my hands in the Circle Drive of Indianapolis, and Kyle just being like, "Yeah, well." That's how it goes, man. That's how it goes.
Glad we both remember that.
Oh, jeez. I wish I didn't, brother. I really wish I didn't.
Oh, man.
But thank you. Thank you very much for that email. Good one. Our last email this week is from Maxatron. And they wrote, "Howdy, y'all. Keep forgetting to write this email to share my adventures with you and make no apologies for how long this may be. I recently went to Rome with my friend and family. We got last-minute tickets that were about half the price they normally were and made like Zubats out of the Cerulean Cave to the Eternal City. It was our first time to Europe in general, and fortunately the cold matched the coldest weather we get back home in the sunny state of Florida. I studied art history extensively in high school, so this trip was an amazing chance to see Bernini and Michelangelo's sculptures, Caravaggio's paintings, and so much Roman history. The slideshows and history books don't do the sense of scale justice, but if I had to reckon it to an American measuring system, I'd say the inside of St. Peter's Basilica is about the height of a really tall pine tree, or like half a football field. I'll keep my pine trees and football fields. Thank you very much. Obviously, part of the trip was going to be for chasing those regionals local to this slice of pizza pie. Fur fruit trims, check. Mr. Mime, check. Sock, check. Or choreo baile style, check. Pan-sear almost isn't worth mentioning with how frequently it's been featured. Red flower flabebe. All right. Story time. I put off catching it within the first few days because it was always at the furthest reaches of my nearby, so about half a kilometer. I didn't want to have to run through a city I didn't know to catch it. Then Adamant Time started and it became non-existent, and my sweat and stress over missing it started building. So here I am, enjoying a gelato one evening, when my friend spots one basically just across the street. It's 2016 all over again. It's 5:58, and I'm gunning it for this red flower. Just as I'm about to get to the Pokestop where it was near to, everything went white. No, literally, all the Pokemon turned into seal. I had missed it by maybe seconds. No. For days after that, there was not a single appearance on the nearby. Finally, on the last day of our trip, and just after Adamantine ended, one of them spawned neatly within range of our apartment. Regionals? Check.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Moral of the story: when in Rome, run for the red flower flabebe and enjoy the gelato, hot chocolate, pasta, and pizza. More recently than this trip, I just played through Rowlet Community Day. I already had a level 50 best buddy Hundo, so I decided to play very casually while I explored a butterfly rainforest at this museum in town. I had always seen it from far away and outside, but I was surprised by the gorgeous landscaping inside with moths, butterflies, and little chickadees. Of course, a couple of Rowlet got in and enjoyed the flowers and flowing waters as well. I'll attach some pictures. They're beautiful. Finally, I learned something that has changed how I view excellent throws. It's been discovered that you can cause critical captures to happen by landing an excellent throw on the tiniest possible circle on any Pokemon. We forgot to cover that, but yes, this is a recent addition. Actually, I don't know if this has been tested with legendary Pokemon, but I've been able to easily trigger critical captures to happen by very carefully throwing the ball at some easy-to-hit Pokemon. I don't know that it's super feasible for the Pokemon we want to be catching with that, but if you've got very good aim, can set the circle, and are patient, maybe catching anything with the red ball is possible. Good luck this new year, and may your year be filled with travel and joy. Maxatron.
I believe that people have tested, and it does not work for raids. Or it does not work for legendary Pokemon. Should be clarified.
Okay.
So right. I think if you find it in GBL, it still doesn't work either.
Interesting.
Which is interesting. Very much a bummer, because like where you would actually want that would be where it actually has value.
That Zekrom would have been mine. It would have been. Yeah, no, I mean, honestly, first of all, thanks for the story. Hope you had a lot of fun. It sounds like you did. But yeah, putting off getting the regionals, you can put yourself in a situation where you're freaking out just a touch. But yeah, that critical catch thing was not announced on any official, communication, right? So not on their X account, not on a blog post, not anywhere. But it has been, I mean, everything but officially verified because everybody's been able to recreate it. So
Yep.
There you go. It's cool. I like them rewarding skill. That's neat. Although sometimes it does feel like luck.
It depends on what you're throwing at, really.
Yeah, I suppose. But yeah, thank you, Maxitron. Thank you very much for the email. Appreciate it. That's the end of the email and voicemail section. If you'd like to send us an email or voicemail, just like these fine folks did, you can by sending the emails to mail@gocastpodcast.com. You can call and leave us a voicemail by calling 262-586-7717. Visit our website for everything GoCast at gocastpodcast.com. Follow us on X/Twitter at GoCast Podcast. If you'd like to help support the show for as little as $1 a month and get access to our patron Discord, you can via Patreon, and that's spelled patreon.com/GoCast Podcast. And speaking of patrons, shout out to our elite trainer tier patrons. Kyle, you've been out of the game for a couple of weeks. Would you like to do us the honors?
Sure thing. Gonna do a shout out to Bo, Daniel, Lori, Michael, Ozzy, Arkham, Marvin, Amimi, Swartz, Thayer, Jason, Justin, Charles, Mottersley, William, Brandon, Ethan, Stephen, Nick, our favorite listener, Drew 2, Camo, The Ugly Rock, Jacob, Victoria, and Sarah Lore. I didn't reverse them this time.
You didn't, but after Jason and Justin, it's like you went down a hill and you went a lot faster.
I was like, I didn't have to think about it as much anymore. I'm like, I can do all of these a little bit, and I know I have to go a little bit faster because got our favorite listener Drew 2 there.
You had to take that one turn, that one curve from the track, extra slow,
and then
awesome. You can also help support the show non-monetarily by leaving us a review where all reviews are accepted, which is most platforms, not all of them, but most. And we got a new review from Jacked Up Doc, maybe Dotch. I don't know. We're getting close, I'm sure. I hope. And they said, best Pokemon Go podcast. Best podcast I listen to. It gets me to grab my phone and catch some monsters on a community day. Great.
Yes.
That's the idea. We love it. Thank you. And let's set some goals, Kyle. And then I think we're out of here. So what are you doing this week?
All right. I've already written them, so I'm ready. I want to do the Dazzling event collection challenge, which is starting on Saturday, right? It's this Saturday.
Yes.
Continue my buddy progress for my Hundo Hydreigon and work on my gifting. I am going to say, because I wasn't here last week, I failed over the Christmas break that we had there. Sorry, Sarah Amanda. I did do a little bit, and then I got my wisdom teeth ripped out, and I'm like, I'm not going to open Pokemon Go for like 5 days. And then,
I'm too weak. I can't gift my friends. My mouth hurts.
I didn't make any sense. I just said I didn't open Pokemon Go.
Oh, okay. There you go. Yeah.
So yeah, gonna work on that. That said, I'm still ahead of Chris with Sarah Amanda. So
you are. I've done it twice since that last recording because I did it right then, and then I remembered once randomly in a daze. So I'm gonna have to probably work on that too. But
okay,
cool. Good for you. Mine are the collection challenges, at least one shiny, and hatch 50 eggs, especially with these 7Ks over the weekend. I'd like to get after that. And wait, isn't Hisui and Typhlosion raid day this weekend as well?
Is that the 14th?
I think it's the 14th, Kyle. Let me just double check. It is Sunday the 14th from 2 to 5. So I want one shiny besides my Hisui and Typhlosion, but I would like 3 shiny Hisui and Typhlosion. If you're hearing this before Sunday, send me all of your raids.
Yeah, please, especially if you're in Australia, New Zealand. I'm actually working at 2:00 on Sunday, so I actually can't take part in the regular raid day. So I'm relying on my beta friends in the other side of the world to send me their beta test raids.
That's right. So that'll be exciting. I'm so hyped for Hisui and Typhlosion, bro. I'm so hyped. I'm gonna go out and do so many raids. But anyway, we'll see you guys next week. Good luck on your raid days and your dazzling dreams and all that good stuff. Until then, thanks for listening. Bye-bye.
Bye.